Tyrone Williams, a renowned football star, had always been in the limelight. Known for his exceptional talent on the field and his impressive fortune, he was a household name. However, his life took a significant turn when he married Ashley Taylor, a strikingly beautiful and ambitious model. Their wedding was a spectacle of grandeur, a union that merged the worlds of sports and fashion in a dazzling display of wealth and glamour. To the public, their marriage appeared to be the epitome of a fairy tale. The ceremony was held at a sprawling estate, with a guest list that included celebrities, sports figures, and influential personalities from various fields. The media couldn't get enough of the couple, with magazines and news outlets covering every detail of their nuptials. Ashley dazzled in a custom-made designer gown, her radiant smile captured in countless photographs. Tyrone, in his tailored tuxedo, looked every bit the part of the loving, successful husband. Their post-wedding life seemed to be a continuous stream of luxury. They moved into a lavish mansion, complete with every conceivable amenity. Exotic vacations, high-end parties, and extravagant shopping sprees became the norm. Ashley seamlessly adapted to this new lifestyle, reveling in the attention and the affluence that came with being Mrs. Williams. However, beneath the surface, cracks began to appear. Tyrone, though initially enchanted by Ashley's beauty and charm, started to notice subtle, disconcerting changes. Their conversations, once filled with shared dreams and laughter, became increasingly shallow. The emotional intimacy that he craved seemed to be missing, replaced by Ashley's incessant focus on material possessions. One evening, as they sat in their opulent living room, Tyrone decided to bring up his concerns. "Ashley, can we talk?" he asked, his tone gentle but firm. Ashley looked up from her tablet, where she was browsing through an online shopping site. "Sure, babe. What's up? Do you ever feel like something's missing between us? Like we're not connecting the way we used to?" Tyrone's voice held a hint of vulnerability. Ashley sighed, putting down her tablet. "Tyrone, you worry too much. We're living the dream, aren't we? Why dig into things that aren't there?" Tyrone frowned, sensing her dismissiveness. "It's not about worrying, Ashley. I just feel like we're drifting apart. I miss the emotional connection we used to have." Ashley waved her hand dismissively. "You're overthinking, Tyrone. We have everything anyone could ever want. Just enjoy it." Despite her reassurances, Tyrone couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. He began to pay closer attention to Ashley's behavior. He noticed her penchant for extravagance, her almost obsessive interest in their finances, and how she seemed more animated discussing expensive purchases than their personal lives. One day, while Ashley was out with friends, Tyrone decided to look through her recent messages. He wasn't proud of invading her privacy, but his gut feeling urged him to seek the truth. What he found shattered him. Texts between Ashley and her friends revealed her true intentions. She spoke candidly about marrying Tyrone for his money, referring to their relationship as a financial investment rather than a union of love. Tyrone's heart sank as he read the messages. "I can't believe this," he muttered to himself, feeling a mix of anger and profound sadness. The woman he had loved and trusted had been using him all along. That evening, when Ashley returned home, Tyrone confronted her. "Ashley, we need to talk. Now." Ashley, sensing the seriousness in his tone, put down her shopping bags and faced him. "What's wrong, Tyrone?" Tyrone held up his phone, displaying the incriminating messages. "Care to explain these?" Ashley paled, her eyes widening in shock. "Tyrone, I can explain." "Don't bother," Tyrone interrupted, his voice laced with hurt. "I trusted you, Ashley. I thought you loved me for who I am, not for my bank account." Ashley tried to salvage the situation, tears forming in her eyes. "Tyrone, please, But Tyrone had heard enough. "Just stop, Ashley. I need some time to think." As the days passed, Tyrone grappled with his emotions. The betrayal cut deep, and he found himself questioning everything about their relationship. He knew he had to make a decision, but it wasn't easy. The pressure from the media and fans only added to his turmoil, with constant speculation about their marriage. In the midst of this chaos, Tyrone reconnected with Lisa, an old friend from his childhood. Lisa had always been a constant presence in his life, offering unwavering support during tough times. Now, she was a successful attorney specializing in family law. When Tyrone confided in her about his situation, Lisa didn't hesitate to offer her help. "Ty, I'm so sorry you're going through this," Lisa said, her voice filled with genuine concern. "But I'm here for you, both as a friend and as a lawyer. We'll get through this together." Tyrone felt a glimmer of hope. "Thank you, Lisa. I don't know what I'd do without you." With Lisa's guidance, Tyrone began to navigate the complex process of separating from Ashley. They reviewed prenuptial agreements and discussed legal strategies to ensure that Ashley wouldn't unjustly benefit from the divorce. Throughout this ordeal, Tyrone rediscovered his own strength, realizing that he could overcome this betrayal and find a future beyond the pain. As they worked closely together, Tyrone and Lisa found their old bond deepening. Lisa's unwavering support and genuine care helped Tyrone heal, and he began to see her in a new light. Their friendship blossomed into something more, built on mutual respect and a shared history. One evening, as they were reviewing documents, Tyrone looked at Lisa and said, "You know, Lisa, I don't think I could have made it through this without you." Lisa smiled warmly. "We've always been there for each other, Ty, and we always will be." Their connection grew stronger, and Tyrone started to envision a future with Lisa, one based on true love and trust. The fairy tale he thought he had with Ashley was gone, but in its place, a new, more authentic story began to unfold. By the time the final divorce hearing approached, Tyrone felt ready to move on. With Lisa by his side, he faced the legal battle with renewed confidence. And when Ashley's manipulations were exposed in court, justice was served. Tyrone emerged from the ordeal with his dignity intact and a promising new chapter ahead. As he walked out of the courthouse, hand in hand with Lisa, Tyrone felt a sense of peace. The road had been rocky, but he had found his way back to genuine love and happiness. And this time, he knew it was real. As Tyrone Williams and Ashley Taylor's married life progressed, Tyrone began to notice certain peculiar behaviors from Ashley. At first, it was subtle. An extravagant shopping spree here, an obsessive inquiry about his earnings there. But as time went on, these signs became more pronounced and harder to ignore. One evening, Tyrone sat in their lavish living room, flipping through financial statements. Ashley appeared, dressed in the latest designer fashion, her arms laden with shopping bags. "Hey babe, guess what I got today?" she chirped, her smile wide and gleaming. Tyrone glanced up, forcing a smile. "Another shopping spree, Ashley?" Ashley waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, don't be such a grump. It's just a few things. You know I need to keep up appearances." Tyrone sighed inwardly. This wasn't the first time they had this conversation. "Ashley, we've talked about this. We need to be mindful of our spending." She rolled her eyes. "We? Tyrone, you're one of the highest paid players in the league. Why are you worried about pennies?" It wasn't the money that worried Tyrone. It was the growing realization that Ashley's interest in their finances seemed to overshadow any genuine connection between them. Conversations between them were becoming increasingly superficial. When they went out, Ashley's attention was more on her phone or the paparazzi than on him. Their emotional intimacy, something Tyrone cherished, seemed to be evaporating. One night, as they lay in bed, Tyrone tried to bridge the gap. "Ashley, do you ever feel like we're drifting apart?" Ashley, scrolling through her phone, barely looked up. "What do you mean?" "I mean, do you feel like we're not as close as we used to be?" She sighed, putting her phone down. "Tyrone, you're overthinking. Everything's fine. We're just busy people." But Tyrone wasn't convinced. The next day, he decided to pay closer attention to Ashley's actions. He noticed her spending hours on her phone, whispering into it or texting furiously. When he asked who she was talking to, she brushed it off as just friends. A growing sense of unease gnawed at him. He confided in his best friend and teammate, Derek. "Man, I don't know what's going on," Tyrone said, sitting across from Derek in a cafe. "Ashley is acting so distant, and she's obsessed with our finances." Derek leaned forward, concern etched on his face. "Have you talked to her about it?" "I've tried, but she always brushes me off. I feel like there's something she's not telling me." Derek nodded thoughtfully. Maybe you should dig a little deeper. Sometimes, things aren't what they seem. Taking Derek's advice to heart, Tyrone decided to investigate. One evening, while Ashley was out, he accessed her laptop. He felt a pang of guilt invading her privacy, but his suspicions were too strong to ignore. What he found shattered his heart. There were messages between Ashley and her friends, detailing her true intentions. "Girl, I'm set for life," one message read. "Tyrone's money is all I need. Once I get enough, I'm out." Tyrone's hands trembled as he read through the messages, each one a dagger to his heart. Ashley had been using him, pretending to love him while her true interest lay in his wealth. When Ashley returned home that night, Tyrone confronted her. "Ashley, we need to talk," he said, his voice steady but cold. She looked at him, puzzled. "About what?" "I know everything," Tyrone said, holding up her laptop. "The messages, the lies. You're only with me for my money." Ashley's face paled. "Tyrone, I can explain." "Don't," he interrupted. "I've seen enough." For the first time, Ashley's facade cracked. She looked genuinely panicked. "Tyrone, please, Save it," Tyrone said, his voice breaking. "I trusted you. I loved you. And you used me." Ashley tried to reach out, but Tyrone stepped back. "I can't look at you right now. Just leave me alone." As Ashley retreated to their bedroom, Tyrone sank into the couch, his world crumbling around him. He had been betrayed by the woman he thought he would spend his life with. The realization was devastating, leaving him feeling utterly alone. In the days that followed, Tyrone struggled to navigate the emotional turmoil. He couldn't bear to look at Ashley, and the once luxurious home now felt like a prison. He confided in Derek again, who suggested he reach out to someone from his past who had always been a source of comfort and strength. Lisa. Lisa was an old friend from his childhood, someone who had been there through thick and thin. They hadn't spoken in years, but Tyrone knew she was now a successful lawyer specializing in family law. He hesitated, unsure if he should burden her with his problems, but eventually, he made the call. "Hello?" Lisa's voice was warm and familiar. "Hey, Lisa. It's Tyrone," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "Tyrone, it's been ages. How are you?" She replied, her tone brightening. "Not great, honestly. I need help, Lisa. I think Ashley's been using me for my money." There was a pause on the other end. "Oh, Tyrone, I'm so sorry. Tell me everything." Over the next hour, Tyrone poured out his heart, explaining the situation in detail. Lisa listened patiently, offering words of comfort and understanding. "You did the right thing by reaching out," she said. "Let's meet and discuss your options. We'll get through this together." Meeting Lisa brought a sense of relief Tyrone hadn't felt in weeks. She was calm, professional, and genuinely cared about his well-being. They spent hours going over his financial situation, the messages he had found, and the potential legal ramifications of a divorce. "Tyrone, you have a strong case," Lisa said confidently. "We can protect your assets and ensure Ashley doesn't take advantage of you any further." With Lisa's support, Tyrone began to see a glimmer of hope. He started to believe that he could move beyond the betrayal and find a future where he wasn't defined by his past mistakes. One evening, as they wrapped up another long discussion, Lisa looked at Tyrone with a gentle smile. "You know, despite everything, I'm glad we reconnected. I've missed our friendship." Tyrone smiled back, feeling a warmth he hadn't felt in a long time. "Me too, Lisa. You've always been there for me, and I can't thank you enough." As they continued to work together, Tyrone found himself growing stronger. He started to see Ashley for who she truly was, and with Lisa's guidance, he began to plan his next steps. The process was painful, but with each passing day, he felt a little more like himself again. The journey was far from over, but Tyrone knew he wasn't alone. With Lisa by his side, he was ready to face whatever came next, confident that he could find a life filled with genuine love and trust. Decided to uncover the truth, Tyrone delved deeper into his suspicions. The initial unease had grown into a gnawing certainty that something was amiss in his marriage to Ashley. Tyrone began by casually observing her behavior, noting the way she would light up at the sight of expensive jewelry her eyes flickering with a greed that was hard to miss. This was not the Ashley he thought he knew, or perhaps he had never truly known her at all. One evening, while Ashley was out with her friends, Tyrone decided to take a bold step. He accessed her phone, which she had carelessly left on the kitchen counter. His heart pounded as he navigated through her messages, feeling a twinge of guilt for invading her privacy but knowing he needed answers. What he found was far worse than he had imagined. The messages were explicit in their content. Ashley had been conversing with her closest friends, detailing her plans and true intentions. "Girl, you wouldn't believe the new purse I got today. Thanks to Tyrone's credit card, of course," read one message. Another, more damning, stated, "He's so clueless. As long as I keep him satisfied, he won't suspect a thing. This lifestyle is too good to give up." The words hit Tyrone like a sledgehammer. His hands trembled as he scrolled through more messages, each one peeling back the layers of deception that Ashley had so carefully constructed. She had married him for his money, not for love. Every affectionate gesture, every sweet word, it had all been part of her act. The following days were a blur of anger and sadness for Tyrone. He could barely look at Ashley without feeling a surge of betrayal. He needed to confront her, but he also needed to be prepared for the fallout. He decided to reach out to Lisa, an old friend from his childhood who had become a successful family attorney. Lisa had always been someone he could trust, and he hoped she could provide some clarity and support. "Lisa, it's Tyrone. I need your help. Can we meet?" he texted her. Lisa responded almost immediately. "Of course, Tyrone. Let's meet at the park near my office. See you in an hour?" When they met, Tyrone felt a sense of relief wash over him. Lisa's presence was calming, a stark contrast to the turmoil that had engulfed his life. They sat on a bench, the autumn leaves rustling in the breeze around them. "Tyrone, you look troubled. What's going on?" Lisa asked, her eyes filled with concern. Tyrone took a deep breath. "It's Ashley. I found messages on her phone. She married me for my money, Lisa. Everything was a lie." Lisa listened intently as Tyrone recounted the messages and his growing suspicions. When he finished, she placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I'm so sorry you're going through this, Tyrone, but you did the right thing by coming to me. We need to approach this carefully." Over the next few weeks, Lisa helped Tyrone gather more evidence. She advised him to document everything and to be cautious in his interactions with Ashley. Tyrone became more observant, noting every extravagant purchase, every superficial conversation. The facade that Ashley had maintained began to crumble in his eyes. One evening, Tyrone decided it was time to confront Ashley. He waited until they were both home, the atmosphere in the house tense and heavy. "Ashley, we need to talk," Tyrone said, his voice steady but firm. Ashley looked up from her magazine, a hint of annoyance flickering across her face. "What is it, Tyrone?" "I'm busy." Tyrone took a deep breath. "I know about the messages. I know why you married me." For a moment, Ashley's face was a mask of shock, but she quickly composed herself. "What are you talking about?" Tyrone pulled out his phone and showed her the screenshots of the messages. Ashley's eyes widened, and she stammered, "Tyrone, I can explain." But Tyrone had heard enough. "There's nothing to explain, Ashley. You used me. This marriage was a lie." Ashley tried to regain control of the situation. "Tyrone, we can work this out. I made a mistake, but I do care about you." Tyrone shook his head. "No, Ashley. You cared about my money, not me. I'm done." The days that followed were filled with difficult conversations and legal preparations. With Lisa's guidance, Tyrone began to understand the complexities of his situation. They reviewed the prenuptial agreement, ensuring that Ashley would not walk away with more than she deserved. Lisa was a pillar of strength for Tyrone during this time. She provided not only legal advice but also emotional support. They spent long hours together, discussing the case and reminiscing about their childhood. Tyrone found solace in these moments, a reminder that genuine connections still existed in his life. One evening, as they were working late in Lisa's office, Tyrone looked at her and said, "Thank you, Lisa. I don't know what I would have done without you." Lisa smiled warmly. "That's what friends are for, Tyrone. We'll get through this together." As Tyrone navigated the legal battle ahead, he began to rediscover his own strength. The betrayal had been a crushing blow, but with Lisa's support, he started to see a future beyond the pain. He realized that he deserved a love that was genuine and true, not one built on lies and deceit. Ashley, sensing that her manipulations were failing, tried to win Tyrone back. She apologized profusely, promising to change, but Tyrone saw through her facade. He had come too far to be swayed by her empty words. "Goodbye, Ashley," he said one final time, closing the door on that chapter of his life. With the divorce proceedings underway, Tyrone felt a weight lifting off his shoulders. Lisa's expertise in family law proved invaluable as they navigated the legal complexities. She dismantled Ashley's arguments with precision, ensuring that Tyrone's interests were protected. The bond between Tyrone and Lisa grew stronger with each passing day. What had started as a rekindling of an old friendship blossomed into something deeper. Tyrone found himself drawn to Lisa's kindness, intelligence, and unwavering support. She had been his rock, and now he couldn't imagine his life without her. One evening, after a particularly grueling day in court, Tyrone and Lisa found themselves alone in her office. The tension of the legal battle hung in the air, but there was also a sense of hope and new beginnings. "Lisa, I don't know how to thank you for everything you've done," Tyrone said, his voice filled with emotion. Lisa looked at him, her eyes softening. "You don't have to thank me, Tyrone. I'm just glad I could help." Tyrone took her hand, his heart pounding. "You've been more than just a lawyer to me. You've been my friend, my confidant, and maybe something more." Lisa's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Tyrone, I've always cared about you, and I believe we can have something real, something based on trust and love." As they embraced, Tyrone felt a sense of peace he hadn't known in a long time. The future was uncertain, but with Lisa by his side, he knew he could face whatever came his way. The final court hearing arrived, and with it, a stunning revelation. Lisa had uncovered irrefutable evidence that Ashley had planned to flee with a significant amount of Tyrone's money. The courtroom buzzed with shock as the evidence was presented, and Ashley's manipulations were laid bare for all to see. The judge ruled in Tyrone's favor, granting him the justice he deserved. Ashley faced legal consequences for her actions, and Tyrone was finally free to move forward with his life. As they left the courthouse, Tyrone turned to Lisa, a smile spreading across his face. "We did it, Lisa. It's over." Lisa squeezed his hand. "Yes, Tyrone, and now we can start anew." With the weight of betrayal lifted, Tyrone and Lisa embarked on a new journey together. Their love, built on trust and mutual respect, promised a brighter future. Tyrone had found not only justice but also a love that was genuine and true. The story of Tyrone and Lisa was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of true love. Together, they faced life's challenges with unwavering support and an unbreakable bond. Ready to embrace whatever the future held, Tyrone found himself at a crossroads, grappling with an emotional and financial dilemma that seemed to have no easy resolution. The betrayal by Ashley had cut deep, leaving him questioning not only his choices but also his worth. He sat alone in his expansive living room, staring at the opulence that surrounded him. The chandeliers, the marble floors, the designer furniture. It all felt hollow now, tainted by the realization that the woman he had loved may have been more enamored with his wealth than with him. As the days passed, the pressure mounted. The media had gotten wind of the tension between Tyrone and Ashley, and speculative headlines became a daily nuisance. Tyrone Williams' marriage on the rocks? Model Ashley Taylor, gold digger or genuine lover? The paparazzi camped outside his mansion, hoping to catch a glimpse of the turmoil within. His fans, once a source of unwavering support, now seemed to scrutinize his every move, adding to his burden. In these moments of solitude, Tyrone's mind wandered back to conversations with Ashley that now seemed laden with red flags he had missed. He remembered the extravagant shopping sprees, the constant inquiries about his financial investments, and the superficial discussions that never ventured into the realm of genuine emotional connection. Why did I not see it before? Tyrone muttered to himself, frustration evident in his voice. As he pondered his next steps, Ashley's attempts to manipulate the situation became more apparent. She began to play the victim, portraying herself as the wronged party in their strained marriage. One evening, they sat across from each other in the dining room, the tension palpable. "Tyrone, you're being paranoid," Ashley said, her tone dripping with feigned innocence. "I love you, not your money." Tyrone clenched his jaw, his eyes narrowing. "Then why do you always seem more interested in my bank statements than in me?" Ashley let out an exasperated sigh. "You're overreacting. Marriage comes with financial discussions. It's normal." "Normal?" Tyrone's voice rose. "Normal is not conspiring with your friends about how much you can take from me in a divorce." Caught off guard, Ashley's eyes widened momentarily before she composed herself. "Those were just jokes, Tyrone. You're making them out to be something they're not." But Tyrone was no longer swayed by her words. The scales had fallen from his eyes, and he saw Ashley for who she truly was. The next step was clear, but it was fraught with complexity and potential fallout. Seeking a divorce from someone as cunning as Ashley meant he had to be prepared for a fierce battle. The following day, Tyrone made a decision that would change the course of his life. He reached out to Lisa, his childhood friend, who had always been a pillar of strength. Lisa had grown into a formidable lawyer, specializing in family law. If anyone could help him navigate this treacherous terrain, it was her. "Lisa, I need your help," Tyrone said over the phone, his voice tinged with a vulnerability that was rare for the usually confident athlete. "Of course, Tyrone," Lisa replied, her voice warm and reassuring. "Tell me everything." They met at a quiet cafe, away from the prying eyes of the media. Lisa listened intently as Tyrone recounted the events that had led to this point. Her expression shifted from concern to determination as she absorbed the details. "Tyrone, you deserve better than this," Lisa said firmly. "We need to approach this strategically. First, we'll review the prenuptial agreement and ensure that Ashley doesn't walk away with more than she deserves." Tyrone nodded, relief washing over him. "I trust you, Lisa. I just want this nightmare to end." Over the next few weeks, Tyrone and Lisa worked tirelessly, poring over legal documents and discussing potential strategies. Lisa's expertise and unwavering support became a beacon of hope for Tyrone. She helped him understand the legal intricacies and prepared him for the emotional toll the divorce proceedings would inevitably take. One evening, as they sat in Lisa's office, Tyrone couldn't help but express his gratitude. "Lisa, I don't know what I would do without you. You've been my rock." Lisa smiled, her eyes reflecting the deep bond they shared. "We've known each other for a long time, Tyrone. I'll always have your back." As the divorce proceedings loomed, Ashley intensified her efforts to manipulate the situation. She played the role of the contrite wife, seeking every opportunity to paint herself in a sympathetic light. During one particularly heated confrontation, she tried to appeal to Tyrone's emotions. "Tyrone, can't we just work this out?" she pleaded, tears streaming down her face. "I made mistakes, but I still love you." But Tyrone, now fortified by Lisa's guidance and his own resolve, saw through the facade. "Ashley, this isn't about love. It's about trust, and you shattered that." As the legal battle commenced, the courtroom became the stage for a high-stakes drama. Ashley's legal team, armed with tactics meant to vilify Tyrone and extract a substantial settlement, clashed with Lisa's meticulous and formidable defense. Lisa's legal acumen shone brightly as she systematically dismantled Ashley's claims, presenting evidence that highlighted Ashley's manipulative nature. "Your Honor," Lisa addressed the judge, her voice steady and authoritative. "The evidence clearly shows that Mrs. Taylor Williams entered this marriage with the intention to exploit Mr. Williams financially. We have text messages, witness testimonies, and financial records to support this claim." The judge, a stern figure with a reputation for fairness, nodded thoughtfully. "The court will review this evidence thoroughly." Throughout the proceedings, Tyrone sat beside Lisa, drawing strength from her unwavering confidence. He felt a sense of justice being served, a vindication of his faith in the legal system and in Lisa's abilities. As the battle raged on, Tyrone began to notice a shift within himself. The pain of betrayal was still there, but it was being overshadowed by a burgeoning sense of hope. He found solace in Lisa's presence, her unwavering support and genuine care rekindling a spark within him that he thought had been extinguished. One evening, after a particularly grueling day in court, Tyrone and Lisa sat in her office, reviewing the day's events. Tyrone looked at Lisa, his eyes reflecting a mixture of gratitude and something deeper. "Lisa, I don't know how to thank you," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "You've done more than just represent me in court. You've helped me find a part of myself that I thought I'd lost." Lisa reached out, placing a comforting hand on his. "Tyrone, you're stronger than you realize. And you're not alone in this. We'll get through it together." As they continued to work on the case, their bond grew stronger. The history they shared, combined with the trials they were facing, forged a connection that went beyond friendship. Tyrone began to envision a future where he could find true happiness, free from the shadows of betrayal. In the end, Tyrone's decision to seek a divorce, supported by Lisa's expertise and their unbreakable bond, set him on a path of healing and self-discovery. The journey was far from over, but with Lisa by his side, Tyrone felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The court proceedings would continue, and the battle with Ashley was far from won. But Tyrone had found something invaluable, a renewed sense of purpose and the possibility of a future built on genuine love and respect. While grappling with the emotional turmoil and financial complexities of his situation, Tyrone Williams seeks solace and guidance from someone he deeply trusts. Lisa, an old childhood friend. Lisa, now a seasoned family law attorney, has always stood by Tyrone during tough times, and this moment is no different. Their reconnection marks a pivotal turning point in Tyrone's journey, providing him with the emotional and legal support he desperately needs. When Tyrone first reaches out to Lisa, it's a rainy Tuesday afternoon. He finds himself staring blankly at his phone, the weight of betrayal heavy on his shoulders. After a few moments of hesitation, he dials Lisa's number. "Hello, Lisa. It's Tyrone," he says, his voice tinged with a mix of relief and sorrow. "Tyrone, it's been ages. How are you?" Lisa's voice is warm and welcoming, instantly putting him at ease. "I wish I were calling under better circumstances," Tyrone begins, pausing to gather his thoughts. "I need your help. It's about Ashley." The concern in Lisa's voice is palpable as she responds, "Of course. What's going on?" Tyrone takes a deep breath, recounting the painful revelations about Ashley's true intentions and the emotional conflict he's been enduring. Lisa listens intently, her years of legal experience and personal empathy allowing her to understand the gravity of the situation. "Meet me at my office tomorrow," Lisa suggests softly. "We'll go through everything together." The next day, Tyrone arrives at Lisa's office, a sleek, modern space that exudes professionalism and calm. As he steps inside, memories of their childhood flood back, offering a brief respite from his current woes. Lisa greets him with a reassuring smile, leading him to her office where they can speak privately. "Thank you for seeing me, Lisa. I honestly don't know where to start," Tyrone admits, his voice betraying his vulnerability. "Let's take it one step at a time," Lisa replies, her tone steady and composed. "First, tell me everything you've discovered so far." As Tyrone shares the incriminating messages and conversations he found, Lisa listens attentively, occasionally jotting down notes. Her expression is a blend of empathy and determination, her legal mind already working on how to best support her friend. "Based on what you've told me, it sounds like Ashley has been planning this for a while," Lisa observes. "But don't worry, Tyrone. We're going to handle this, and we'll make sure you're protected." Over the next few weeks, Tyrone and Lisa spend countless hours together, reviewing contracts, discussing legal strategies, and navigating the emotional minefield that is Tyrone's marriage. Their conversations often extend beyond legal matters, delving into personal reflections and shared memories. One evening, as they sit in Lisa's office, surrounded by documents and legal briefs, Tyrone opens up about his fears. "Lisa, I can't help but feel like I've been a fool. How did I not see this coming?" Lisa reaches across the table, placing a comforting hand on his. "Tyrone, you're not a fool. You trusted someone you loved, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to get through this, and you'll come out stronger on the other side." As they continue their work, Tyrone begins to rediscover his own resilience. Lisa's unwavering support and expert guidance empower him to face the challenges ahead with renewed strength. Their bond deepens, rooted in a shared history and a growing mutual respect. During one particularly late night at Lisa's office, Tyrone finds himself opening up about more than just his legal troubles. "You know, Lisa, I always admired you. Even back in school, you were always so determined and focused." Lisa smiles, a hint of nostalgia in her eyes. "And I always admired your dedication and kindness, Tyrone. You've always had a big heart." Their conversations often drift into lighter territory, offering moments of levity amidst the tension. They reminisce about their childhood adventures, the mischief they got into, and the dreams they once shared. These moments remind Tyrone of the genuine connections that truly matter, contrasting starkly with the superficial relationship he had with Ashley. As the legal process unfolds, Lisa's expertise shines through. She meticulously dissects the prenuptial agreement, ensuring that Ashley's attempts to manipulate the situation are thwarted. Her strategic brilliance and fierce advocacy leave no room for Ashley's deceit to succeed. "Tyrone, we're making great progress," Lisa updates him one afternoon. "I've filed the necessary motions, and we're well prepared for any counterarguments Ashley's team might present." Tyrone nods, gratitude evident in his eyes. "I don't know what I'd do without you, Lisa. You've been my rock through all of this." Lisa's expression softens, her professional demeanor giving way to genuine affection. "I'm just glad I can help, Tyrone. You deserve so much better than what you've been through." As the weeks turn into months, Tyrone's confidence grows. He begins to envision a future beyond the betrayal, one where he can find true happiness and fulfillment. Lisa's unwavering presence is a constant source of strength, guiding him through the darkest moments. Their bond, once rooted in childhood friendship, begins to evolve into something deeper. Tyrone finds himself drawn to Lisa in ways he hadn't anticipated. Her intelligence, compassion, and unwavering support stir feelings he hadn't allowed himself to acknowledge before. One evening, as they wrap up another long day of legal preparations, Tyrone finds the courage to voice his thoughts. "Lisa, I don't know where I'd be without you. You've given me hope and strength when I needed it most." Lisa looks at him, her eyes reflecting a mix of emotions. "Tyrone, you've always been an important part of my life, and seeing you find your strength again, it means the world to me." Their connection, forged in the crucible of shared challenges, begins to take on a new dimension. Tyrone realizes that the love and respect he feels for Lisa run deeper than he had ever acknowledged. And as they move forward, both professionally and personally, they begin to envision a future where their bond can flourish into something beautiful and enduring. As the legal battle with Ashley intensifies, Tyrone and Lisa's partnership grows stronger. Lisa's legal acumen and Tyrone's newfound resilience become an unstoppable force. Together, they face the challenges head-on, determined to secure a just outcome and a brighter future. Their journey is one of rediscovery, healing, and the rekindling of a bond that transcends time and adversity. In Lisa, Tyrone finds not only an exceptional attorney but a true friend and confidant. And as they navigate the complexities of the legal proceedings, they also navigate the evolving landscape of their own hearts, discovering the potential for a love that is genuine, resilient, and deeply rooted in trust and mutual respect. With Lisa's unwavering support, Tyrone begins to meticulously plan his separation from Ashley. The first step is to review the prenuptial agreement, a document that was initially drafted with the intention of protecting Tyrone's considerable assets. As they sit in Lisa's office, surrounded by piles of legal documents and case files, the atmosphere is a mix of professional focus and personal camaraderie. "Tyrone, we need to ensure that every clause in this prenup is airtight," Lisa says, her voice steady and reassuring. She pushes her glasses up her nose as she scans through the pages. "Our goal is to make sure Ashley can't claim more than she's entitled to." Tyrone nods, his jaw clenched. "I trusted her, Lisa. I never thought I'd be in this position." Lisa reaches across the table and places a comforting hand on his arm. "I know, Tyrone, but we're going to get through this together." As they delve deeper into the legalities, Lisa explains the intricacies of divorce law. She highlights the importance of documenting all of Ashley's expenditures and any evidence that demonstrates her lack of genuine emotional investment in the marriage. Tyrone is astounded by the extent of Ashley's deceit as he revisits the messages and conversations he's uncovered. "Look at this," he says, pointing to a particularly damning text exchange between Ashley and one of her friends. "She was planning this all along. She even joked about how much she could get in the divorce." Lisa frowns as she reads the messages. This is exactly the kind of evidence we need. It shows a clear pattern of manipulation and intent to defraud you. Over the next few weeks, Tyrone and Lisa work closely together, compiling evidence and preparing for the impending legal battle. They meet regularly, often late into the night, to strategize and ensure that every aspect of the case is covered. During these sessions, Tyrone begins to rediscover his own inner strength. He realizes that his worth is not tied to his wealth or his public image, but to his integrity and resilience. One evening, as they wrap up another intense planning session, Tyrone leans back in his chair and sighs. "I don't know what I'd do without you, Lisa. You've been my rock through all of this." Lisa smiles warmly. "That's what friends are for, Tyrone. And remember, you're stronger than you think. You've faced challenges on the football field that most people can't even imagine. This is just another battle, and you're going to win it." As they continue to work together, Tyrone's admiration for Lisa grows. He sees her not just as a brilliant lawyer, but as a compassionate and unwavering friend. He remembers the times they spent together as children, the laughter and the shared dreams. Those memories provide a sense of comfort and hope amidst the turmoil. One day, during a particularly grueling meeting, Lisa looks up from her notes and locks eyes with Tyrone. "You know, Tyrone, this process is also about rediscovering yourself. It's about finding out who you are beyond the fame and the fortune. And I see a kind, strong, and resilient man sitting in front of me." Tyrone feels a lump form in his throat. "Thank you, Lisa. I needed to hear that." As the weeks pass, Tyrone begins to envision a future beyond the pain of betrayal. He starts to think about what truly matters to him and what kind of life he wants to build. He spends time reconnecting with old friends and family members, seeking solace and support. He also begins to take better care of himself, both physically and emotionally, finding solace in his daily workouts and in moments of quiet reflection. One afternoon, as they review the final details of the case, Lisa looks at Tyrone with a mixture of pride and affection. "You've come a long way, Tyrone. I can see the change in you. You're more focused, more determined." Tyrone smiles, a genuine smile that reaches his eyes. "I owe a lot of that to you, Lisa. You've helped me see that there's life beyond this mess. And for that, I'll always be grateful." Their professional relationship begins to deepen into a profound personal connection. They share stories, laughter, and moments of vulnerability. Tyrone starts to realize that his feelings for Lisa go beyond friendship. He appreciates her intelligence, her kindness, and her unwavering support. He starts to entertain the possibility of a future where love is built on mutual respect and genuine affection. One evening, after a particularly successful day in court, Tyrone and Lisa decide to celebrate with a quiet dinner. As they sit across from each other in a cozy restaurant, the atmosphere is relaxed and intimate. "Here's to new beginnings," Lisa says, raising her glass. Tyrone clinks his glass against hers. "To new beginnings," he echoes. "And to the best lawyer and friend a guy could ask for." Lisa blushes slightly. "Thank you, Tyrone. That means a lot." They share a moment of silence, each lost in their thoughts. Finally, Tyrone breaks the silence. "Lisa, I know this might not be the best time to say this, but I've been feeling something more than just friendship between us. I don't want to complicate things, but I can't ignore my feelings." Lisa looks at him, her eyes softening. "Tyrone, I've been feeling the same way. But let's take things one step at a time. Let's get through this divorce first, and then we can explore what might be between us." Tyrone nods, a sense of relief washing over him. That sounds like a plan. With Lisa's support and his own newfound strength, Tyrone begins to see a future filled with possibilities. He envisions a life where love is genuine and relationships are built on trust and mutual respect. He starts to believe that happiness is within his reach, and that with Lisa by his side, he can overcome any obstacle. As they leave the restaurant, walking side by side, Tyrone feels a sense of hope and optimism that he hasn't felt in a long time. He knows that the road ahead won't be easy, but with Lisa's support and his own determination, he's ready to face whatever comes his way. And in that moment, as they walk into the night, Tyrone realizes that he's not just planning a separation from a deceitful past. He's planning a new beginning, a future filled with promise and genuine love. And for the first time in a long time, he feels truly alive. Ashley, perceiving that her manipulations are not yielding the results she anticipated, begins to change her approach. She decides to try and re-establish a connection with Tyrone, feigning remorse and regret about her actions. It's a calculated move, designed to play on Tyrone's emotions and perhaps sway him into reconsidering the divorce. One evening, she approaches Tyrone in their lavish living room, her eyes glistening with what she hopes looks like genuine sorrow. "Tyrone," she begins, her voice trembling slightly, "I've been doing a lot of thinking. I realize how much I've hurt you, and I am truly sorry. I don't want to lose you." Tyrone, who has grown increasingly wary of Ashley's intentions, studies her carefully. He notices the slight hesitation in her voice, the almost theatrical way she wipes a tear from her cheek. He knows her too well now to be fooled by this display. "Ashley," he replies, his tone measured and calm, "I wish I could believe you, but I've seen too much to just forget everything." Ashley, sensing she's losing him, steps closer, her hands reaching out to touch his arm. "Tyrone, please. We can work through this. I love you." But Tyrone gently pulls away, his resolve strengthening. "Love? Is that what you call this? If you loved me, you wouldn't have done what you did. You wouldn't have married me for my money and lied about it." The words hang heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the betrayal that has fractured their marriage. Ashley's expression shifts, a flicker of frustration crossing her face. She quickly masks it with a look of desperation. "I made mistakes, but I'm willing to change. I want us to try again," she pleads. Tyrone shakes his head. "It's too late for that, Ashley. I've made my decision, and I'm moving forward with the divorce." Seeing that her usual tactics are failing, Ashley's demeanor changes. Her eyes harden, and the pretense of sorrow vanishes. "You'll regret this, Tyrone. You think you can just discard me? I deserve my share of everything." Tyrone remains unfazed. "We both know what you're really after, and it's not me. I'm done being manipulated. The divorce is happening, whether you like it or not." In the following days, Ashley's attempts to sway Tyrone become more desperate. She alternates between cajoling and threatening, but Tyrone remains steadfast. He understands now that her remorse is nothing more than a facade, a last-ditch effort to maintain her grip on his wealth. One afternoon, Lisa visits Tyrone to discuss the next steps in the divorce proceedings. They sit in his study, surrounded by stacks of legal documents and financial records. "How are you holding up?" Lisa asks, her tone gentle but professional. Tyrone sighs, leaning back in his chair. "It's been tough, but I'm getting through it." Ashley's been trying to play the remorse card, but I'm not buying it. Lisa nods, a look of determination in her eyes. "Good. She's trying to manipulate you, and it's important that you stay strong. We're making progress with the case, and I'm confident we can protect your interests." As they work through the documents, Lisa's support and expertise continue to bolster Tyrone's resolve. He knows that with her by his side, both as a friend and a lawyer, he can navigate the complexities of the divorce and emerge stronger on the other side. One evening, after another particularly tense encounter with Ashley, Tyrone finds himself reflecting on his journey. He realizes how far he's come since the initial shock of discovering Ashley's true intentions. He's no longer the naive husband blindsided by betrayal. He's a man who has rediscovered his strength and clarity. During one of their meetings, Lisa brings up a crucial point. "Tyrone, I've been reviewing the prenuptial agreement and the evidence we've gathered. Ashley doesn't have a strong case. We need to stay focused and continue to document everything." Tyrone nods, feeling a sense of relief. "Thank you, Lisa. I don't know what I'd do without you." Lisa smiles, her eyes warm with genuine care. "You're stronger than you think, Tyrone. We'll get through this together." As the days pass, Ashley's attempts to manipulate Tyrone become more transparent. She stages dramatic scenes, hoping to elicit sympathy, but Tyrone remains resolute. He's come to see Ashley for who she truly is, and there's no going back. One night, Ashley confronts Tyrone in a final, desperate bid to change his mind. "You're making a huge mistake, Tyrone. Do you really want to throw everything away?" Tyrone stands firm, his expression unwavering. "The only mistake was trusting you. I deserve better, and I'm not going to let you take advantage of me any longer." Ashley's face contorts with anger, but she knows she's lost. With no other options left, she storms out of the room, leaving Tyrone to reflect on his newfound resolve. In the quiet aftermath, Tyrone feels a sense of liberation. He's no longer bound by the deceit and manipulation that once clouded his life. With Lisa's unwavering support, he's ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. A few days later, Lisa calls Tyrone with an update. "We've made significant progress. Ashley's case is weak, and we're in a strong position." Tyrone feels a surge of gratitude and hope. "Thank you, Lisa. I couldn't have done this without you." Lisa's voice is filled with reassurance. "You're doing great, Tyrone. We're almost there. Just stay focused and trust the process." As the divorce proceedings move forward, Tyrone continues to lean on Lisa's expertise and friendship. He knows that with her by his side, he's not only fighting for his financial security, but also reclaiming his sense of self-worth. One evening, as they sit together reviewing documents, Lisa looks at Tyrone with a thoughtful expression. "You've come a long way, Tyrone. I'm proud of you." Tyrone smiles, feeling a deep sense of appreciation. "I couldn't have done it without you, Lisa. You've been my rock through all of this." Lisa's eyes soften, and she reaches out to squeeze his hand. "We make a good team, don't we?" Tyrone nods, feeling a warmth in his chest. "Yes, we do. And I'm grateful for every moment." As they continue to work together, Tyrone realizes that he's not just fighting for his future. He's also building a new one, with Lisa by his side. Her unwavering support and genuine care have shown him what true friendship and love look like. And with each passing day, he feels more confident that he's on the right path, ready to embrace whatever comes next. The legal battle between Tyrone and Ashley escalates into a fierce courtroom showdown. Lisa, with her keen intellect and unwavering dedication, proves to be a formidable advocate for Tyrone. She meticulously dissects Ashley's claims, exposing inconsistencies and fabrications that put Ashley's intentions in a harsh light. The courtroom is abuzz with anticipation as the judge, a stern figure with years of experience, takes his seat. Tyrone sits beside Lisa, his face a mixture of determination and anxiety. Across from them, Ashley sits with her own attorney, a man known for his aggressive tactics. The air is thick with tension as the proceedings begin. "Your Honor," Lisa starts, her voice clear and confident, "we have substantial evidence that not only refutes Ms. Taylor's claims, but also demonstrates a pattern of deceit and manipulation aimed at exploiting Mr. Williams' financial assets." Ashley shifts uncomfortably in her seat, her eyes darting nervously around the room. Her attorney rises to counter, but Lisa's presence is commanding. She presents a series of documents, text messages, and bank statements that paint a damning picture of Ashley's true motives. One particularly incriminating piece of evidence is a series of emails between Ashley and her friends. In these emails, Ashley boasts about her plans to secure as much money as possible from Tyrone, referring to him disparagingly and making it clear that her affections were a facade. "Let me read a portion of these emails," Lisa says, holding up the printed pages. "I'm going to milk him for all he's worth. He thinks he's so smart, but he's just a means to an end." Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Tyrone's jaw tightens, but he remains composed, bolstered by Lisa's unwavering support. The judge's eyes narrow as he scrutinizes the evidence. Ashley's attorney attempts to discredit the emails, suggesting they might be taken out of context or fabricated. But Lisa is prepared for this. She calls an expert witness to verify the authenticity of the communications. The expert, a digital forensic specialist, confirms that the emails are genuine and unaltered. "Your Honor, it's evident that Ms. Taylor entered this marriage under false pretenses, Lisa concludes. Her actions are not those of a loving spouse, but of a calculated opportunist. The judge nods, clearly affected by the evidence presented. Ashley's attorney makes a last-ditch effort to salvage her case, suggesting that Ashley's actions were a result of emotional distress and that she deserves a fair settlement. But the argument feels hollow in light of the overwhelming proof of her duplicity. Tyrone watches as Lisa methodically dismantles each of Ashley's claims. He feels a surge of gratitude and admiration for his friend. Lisa's brilliance in the courtroom is matched only by her compassion and loyalty outside of it. During a recess, Tyrone and Lisa sit together in a quiet corner of the courthouse. Tyrone looks at her with a mixture of awe and heartfelt emotion. "Lisa, I don't know how to thank you," he says, his voice thick with emotion. "You've done more for me than I could ever repay." Lisa smiles warmly, placing a reassuring hand on his. "Tyrone, you've always been there for me, too. We're in this together, and we'll get through it together." The recess ends, and they return to the courtroom. The final round of arguments begins, and Lisa remains steadfast, her legal prowess shining through. She presents new evidence that further reveals the extent of Ashley's greed. Financial records show suspicious transfers and expenditures that Ashley cannot explain. These transactions, Lisa states, pointing to the figures on the screen, clearly indicate an attempt to siphon off funds for personal use, beyond what a reasonable spouse would require. The judge listens intently, his expression stern. Ashley's attorney is visibly flustered, struggling to find a rebuttal. It's clear that Lisa has anticipated every move, countering with precision and expertise. Finally, the judge speaks. "I've heard enough. The evidence presented here is compelling and leaves little doubt about Ms. Taylor's intentions. I find in favor of Mr. Williams. Ms. Taylor will receive a minimal settlement, reflecting her contributions during the marriage, but no more." A collective sigh of relief emanates from Tyrone's side of the courtroom. Ashley looks devastated, her carefully constructed plans crumbling before her eyes. Her attorney slumps in defeat. As the judge adjourns the session, Tyrone turns to Lisa, his eyes filled with gratitude and something deeper. "Lisa, I couldn't have done this without you," he says, his voice steady for the first time in days. Lisa smiles, her eyes glistening with emotion. "Tyrone, you're stronger than you know. This is just the beginning of a new chapter for you." They leave the courtroom together, stepping into the bright sunlight. Tyrone feels a weight lifted from his shoulders, the future suddenly looking brighter. As they walk side by side, he realizes that his feelings for Lisa have grown beyond friendship. Her unwavering support and brilliant mind have shown him what true partnership looks like. "Lisa," he begins, stopping to face her, "I know this isn't the time or place, but I need to say it. You've been my rock through all of this. I think I might be falling for you." Lisa looks at him, her cheeks flushing slightly. "Tyrone, let's take things one step at a time. But I feel it too. Let's see where this journey takes us." With that, they walk forward together, leaving the shadows of betrayal behind and stepping into a future filled with promise and genuine connection. The legal battle may have ended, but a new, hopeful chapter in their lives is just beginning. As the legal battle rages on between Tyrone and Ashley, an unexpected development begins to take shape. Tyrone starts to develop feelings for Lisa. It's a gradual process, almost imperceptible at first, but the seeds of affection are sown in the fertile ground of mutual respect and shared adversity. The unwavering support and genuine friendship Lisa provides become a lifeline for Tyrone, allowing him to navigate through his emotional turmoil and begin to heal. One evening, after a particularly grueling day in court, Tyrone and Lisa find themselves alone in his spacious, but now emotionally empty mansion. The silence between them is comfortable, a stark contrast to the tension and hostility of the courtroom. Lisa, sensing Tyrone's exhaustion, suggests a break. "Tyrone, you need to relax. This is taking a toll on you," she advises softly, her eyes filled with concern. Tyrone nods, his shoulders sagging under the weight of the ongoing legal battle. "You're right, Lisa. It's all so overwhelming sometimes. I never thought it would come to this." Lisa places a comforting hand on his arm. "Let's take a walk in the garden." Fresh air might do us both some good. As they stroll through the meticulously manicured garden, the twilight casting a serene glow over the landscape, Tyrone feels a sense of peace that has eluded him for weeks. They talk about everything and nothing, reminiscing about their childhood, sharing dreams and fears. The conversation flows naturally, and for the first time in a long while, Tyrone feels a genuine connection with someone. I remember when we were kids, Tyrone begins, a nostalgic smile playing on his lips. You were always the one who stood up for me when the other kids teased me. Lisa chuckles softly. Well, someone had to. You were always so focused on your dreams, and I admired that. It's one of the reasons I went into law, to help people who needed someone in their corner. Their eyes meet, and in that moment, something shifts between them. It's not just the comfort of old friends. There's a spark, a burgeoning affection that neither can ignore. But the complexities of their current situation make them cautious. Days turn into weeks, and their bond only grows stronger. They spend hours together, not just preparing for court, but also sharing meals, watching movies, and simply enjoying each other's company. Tyrone finds himself looking forward to these moments more than anything else in his tumultuous life. One night, after a particularly intense discussion about the case, Tyrone feels compelled to express his gratitude. Lisa, I don't know what I would have done without you. You've been my rock through all of this. Lisa smiles, her eyes warm. That's what friends are for, Tyrone. And besides, you've shown incredible strength. I'm just here to remind you of it. Tyrone's heart swells with emotion. It's more than that, Lisa. You've helped me see that there's life beyond all this pain and betrayal. You've given me hope. Lisa's breath catches slightly, the depth of his words resonating within her. Tyrone. Before she can continue, Tyrone reaches out, taking her hand in his. I know this isn't the right time or place, but I need you to know, Lisa, I care about you. More than just a friend. Lisa looks into his eyes, her own emotions mirroring his. Tyrone, I care about you too, but we need to be careful. This is a fragile time for both of us. Tyrone nods, understanding the gravity of her words. I know, and I'm willing to wait, but I needed you to know how I feel. From that moment on, their relationship takes on a new dimension. While they remain focused on the battle at hand, there's an unspoken understanding between them, a promise of something more when the time is right. As the days pass, their bond only deepens. Lisa's unwavering support and the emotional sanctuary she provides become the foundation upon which Tyrone rebuilds his shattered self-esteem. He begins to see a future beyond the courtroom, one filled with genuine love and mutual respect. Their late-night conversations become more intimate, their shared laughter more frequent. Tyrone finds solace in Lisa's presence, her laughter a balm to his wounded soul. They discuss dreams and aspirations, and Tyrone begins to envision a future that includes Lisa not just as his lawyer, but as his partner in every sense of the word. One particularly memorable evening, they decide to cook dinner together. It's a simple meal, but the act of working side by side, the easy banter and shared laughter, brings a sense of normalcy and joy that Tyrone hasn't felt in a long time. Who knew you were such a good cook? Lisa teases, watching as Tyrone expertly chops vegetables. Tyrone grins, a rare, genuine smile lighting up his face. I had to learn something during those off seasons. Besides, it's therapeutic. As they sit down to eat, the atmosphere is warm and intimate. Tyrone feels a sense of contentment that has been absent for far too long. Lisa, I can't thank you enough for everything, he says, his tone sincere. Not just for your legal expertise, but for being here, for being you. Lisa reaches across the table, taking his hand in hers. Tyrone, it's my pleasure. You deserve happiness, and I'm honored to be a part of your journey to find it. Their eyes lock, and in that silent exchange, the promise of a future together becomes more than just a distant hope. It becomes a tangible, beautiful possibility. As the legal battle approaches its climax, Tyrone and Lisa continue to support each other, their burgeoning relationship providing a beacon of hope amidst the storm. The challenges they face only strengthen their bond, proving that true love and respect can indeed blossom even in the most trying of circumstances. Together, they envision a future built on trust, love, and mutual respect. A future that, for the first time in a long while, Tyrone genuinely looks forward to. On the day of the final divorce hearing, the atmosphere in the courtroom was tense. Tyrone Williams sat beside Lisa, his heart pounding with a mixture of anxiety and anticipation. He glanced at Lisa, who looked calm and composed, her eyes focused on the stack of documents in front of her. "Are you ready for this?" Tyrone asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lisa turned to him and offered a reassuring smile. "We've got this, Tyrone. Just trust me." As the judge entered the room and called the court to order, Ashley Taylor walked in with her lawyer, her face a mask of confidence. She cast a disdainful glance toward Tyrone and Lisa, but her expression betrayed a flicker of uncertainty. The proceedings began, with both sides presenting their arguments. Ashley's lawyer painted her as a devoted wife who had been wronged, while Lisa methodically dismantled each of their claims with precision and expertise. The tension in the room grew palpable as the hours passed. Finally, it was Lisa's turn to present the new evidence she had uncovered. She stood up, holding a file that seemed to weigh heavily in her hands. "Your Honor," Lisa began, her voice steady and clear, "I have here irrefutable evidence that Mrs. Taylor has been planning to embezzle a significant amount of money from Mr. Williams. This includes records of secret bank accounts and communications detailing her intentions to flee the country." The courtroom fell silent as Lisa handed the documents to the judge. Ashley's face turned pale, and her lawyer looked visibly alarmed. The judge reviewed the evidence, his expression growing increasingly stern. "This is highly incriminating," the judge said, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "Mrs. Taylor, do you have anything to say in your defense?" Ashley stood up, her composure cracking under the weight of the revelations. "Your Honor, this is a misunderstanding," she stammered. I can explain." The judge raised a hand to silence her. "The evidence speaks for itself, Mrs. Taylor. Your actions are not only unethical but also illegal. I hereby rule in favor of Mr. Williams. Mrs. Taylor, you will face legal consequences for your fraudulent actions." Ashley slumped back into her seat, defeated. Tyrone felt a wave of relief wash over him as justice was served. He turned to Lisa, his gratitude evident in his eyes. "Thank you, Lisa," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "I couldn't have done this without you." Lisa smiled warmly. "That's what friends are for, Tyrone. And maybe more than friends." The courtroom began to empty as people filed out, murmuring about the dramatic turn of events. Tyrone and Lisa lingered for a moment, savoring the victory and the promise of a new beginning. Later that evening, Tyrone and Lisa sat together in a quiet corner of a cozy restaurant, reflecting on the tumultuous journey they had navigated together. "I still can't believe how things turned out," Tyrone said, shaking his head in disbelief. "It feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders." Lisa reached across the table and took his hand. "You deserve this, Tyrone. You deserve to be happy and free from all the deceit." He looked into her eyes, feeling a warmth and sincerity that had been absent from his life for so long. "And I think I finally found what I've been missing," he said softly. "Real love and trust." Lisa blushed slightly, her heart swelling with affection. "I'm glad to be a part of your new beginning." The days that followed were filled with a newfound sense of hope and possibility. Tyrone and Lisa spent more time together, exploring their feelings and building a relationship grounded in mutual respect and genuine affection. They took long walks, shared laughter, and opened up to each other in ways they never had before. One sunny afternoon, as they strolled through a park, Tyrone stopped and turned to Lisa, his expression serious yet tender. "Lisa, I know we've been through a lot together, and I can't imagine my life without you now. You've been my rock, my confidant, and my biggest supporter. I don't want to rush things, but I want you to know that I see a future with you." Lisa's eyes glistened with tears of happiness. "Tyrone, I feel the same way. I've always believed in you, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life. Let's take it one step at a time, but I'm excited about our future together." Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, and soon they were making plans for a life together, one filled with love, trust, and endless possibilities. Tyrone found solace in Lisa's unwavering support, and Lisa cherished the depth of their connection. As time went on, Tyrone's career flourished, and he found a new sense of purpose and fulfillment. He became an advocate for financial literacy among athletes, sharing his story to help others avoid the pitfalls he had encountered. Lisa continued to excel in her legal career, using her expertise to support families and individuals in need. Their journey was not without its challenges, but together, they faced each obstacle with resilience and determination. Tyrone and Lisa's love story became a beacon of hope, showing that true happiness could be found even after the darkest of times. One evening, as they sat on the porch of their new home, watching the sunset, Tyrone turned to Lisa and took her hand. "Thank you for believing in me, for standing by me, and for loving me," he said, his voice filled with emotion. Lisa smiled, her heart overflowing with love. "Thank you for letting me in, for trusting me, and for sharing your life with me. This is just the beginning, Tyrone. Our story is far from over." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over them, Tyrone and Lisa knew that their journey together was only just beginning. With hearts full of hope and love, they embraced the future, ready to face whatever it held, hand in hand.